Well, hello there. It's Barry with Keep It Simple Paper Crafts, and I'm here again today to share with you another fun fold card using Keep It Simple's brand new Life is Sweet designer paper and ephemera and stamp sets. Today, what I wanted to share with you is this fun card. As you can see here, it folds up in a 3D kind of box fashion. But what's fun is that it folds flat for mailing. Isn't that great? So when the recipient gets it, they open it up, and there is your 3D box card. Just like that. Now this is really simple. I call this the 2468 cube card. I don't think that's the real name, but I like to use it as a 2468 card. And that'll make sense here in just a minute. So let's get started and let's gather our products that we'll need. First of all, we'll need the base. Now I'm going to use my Back to Basic lemon collection. This is double-sided cardstock sheets in this luscious and beautiful lemon yellow color. It is absolutely stunning. Here we have Sunbeam, Random Dot, and Solid. And of course, as with all Keep It Simple products, there is a coordinating side to it as well. And then we have the Chickadee Buffalo Plaid right here. Lovely. And then the large dot. Here we have Dandelion. It's a thick strip and a mini dot. Love this. Here's Firefly Glow. Isn't that pretty? It's a lighter shade. Now with all of the Keep It Simple Back to Basics, I love, love, love this cardstock because of the print. Now the print is not overwhelming at all. It is actually quite subtle. Look at this beautiful flower, Sunbeam Floral with and the back side is a graph. You can barely see the graph, but what it does, it doesn't take away from your project. For me, it enhances the project. Here's a Buffalo Plaid again with a large dot. And then here is the Dandelion Thick Strip and Mini Dot, and we're going to use that mini dot side. This beautiful, luscious yellow. All right, so first of all, we're going to cut this down to 8 and 8.5, okay? So I'm going to bring in my cutter. And now, as the strip right here is a 1/2-inch strip, we're going to cut this off first, but we're going to save it because we're going to use it later on. I'll show you. We're not going to let anything go to waste here. Okay, so we're going to cut this off. Now save this, okay? Now we're going to cut this down to 8 and 8.5. Get out my little ruler here. All right, cut it to 8. And now this will be for the base of your card. So there's 8. Now we need 8.5. There we go. All right, let's start with this first. With your cutter still out and on your 8.5-inch side. So this is 8.5 inches, right? Yep, 8.5. On your 8.5, you're going to now score it. This is where the 2468 comes in. You're going to score it at 2, 4, right there on the right mark, 4, 6, and 8, which then should leave a 1/2-inch little score on that side. Now we're going to turn it just a 1/2 a rotation so that now all your score marks are now horizontal. Okay, and now we're going to cut it at 2. Cut it at 2. Cut another one at 2. And leave the last one at 4. So now Let's move this out of the way. We're going to use this trimmer in just a minute. But for this, we've got your 4, your 2, and your 2. Now, with your snips, I like this. This is not a mandatory thing, but I like to do this. On the end, it's got the 1/2 inch score mark, this is going to be your tab to glue your cubes together. So what I like to do is just from that crease, or right where that score mark is, and just cut off the corners. Right down to that score mark on that 1/2 inch, just to give it a little, we're making a little tab. And you're going to do that with all of them. So from that score mark, cut off that corner. There you go. I'll fold it down so you can kind of see it a little bit better. Right from that score line, just cut off that triangle a little bit. Right there, and right there. And there we have it. Now, let's go ahead and fold. Get your bone folder and make these creases real nice. And we're just going to fold them into mountain folds. Now, those of you who may not know what a mountain fold is, or the opposite would be a valley fold, let me share with you that. A mountain fold is what we're making because the tips go up like a mountain. If we were to reverse it, it would be a valley fold, which is down like a valley. So what I'm going to do, because all of my boxes are going to be up, we want to do a mountain fold. So that's mountain. I'm going to do that mountain here, and mountain here. Let's get these all nicely done, burnished real well. And then your last one, let's go ahead and do that same thing. Let's burnish it real well. And they're all mountain folds. Now, I could have used either side, the striped or the mini dot. And I just chose the mini dot for my base of this card. So that's going to be on the outside. Now let's glue them to form our little cubes. Grab my glue, and then I use one of these to stick my pin in so I don't lose it. And here's a fun way to do this. An easy way to do this. I just fold it over so that my tab is in the center. Add a little glue here, right on that tab, our made tab. And then we're just going to fold it closed like that. And I might have to swim it a little bit, give it a little, make sure the glue adheres well, and just give it a swing back and forth to make sure we got it. We do. So now I'll show you that again with this one. Just fold over that panel like so. Add a little glue to the tab. And then take that one flap and fold it closed. Give it a little push to make sure that glue adheres. And swing it back and forth. And then the last one is our big 4-inch one. Let's do that, same thing. There we go. Just on the tab alone. There we go. And then we're going to close it. Burnish it real good so that glue sticks good. And then just rotate it back and forth just to make sure you've got a good adhere. Now, we're ready to put our cubes together. What I like to do is with my tab in the back, so it's down on the table, I'm going to fold it closed like this. And same with this, but I want to make sure my tab, if you can kind of see, the tab that we glued is at the bottom. Okay, we're going to go like this, and the tab is at the bottom. So you can see the seam is going to be at the bottom of your card. Now I'm going to lay it on top of here because this is what it's going to look like. Okay, once it's closed. So then I'm just going to flip it over and flip this over. And then with my glue again, only where this bottom square is right here is where I want to put the glue. So only on that bottom portion is where you're going to add your glue. Okay, just on that bottom portion. Then we're going to turn it over, and you're just going to line it up with the bottom and flush against the side here. So flush here and flush down here. Let's hold it for just a second to make sure it adheres real well. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing, but on the left-hand side. We're going to add a little bit of glue right in this 2 by 2 square right here at the bottom. Okay, just like that. And then turn it over and stick it right next to that one we just did, making it flush with it right here, flush against the bottom. It should be flush against that left side. Flush and flush. Make sure it glues down well. And look at this. We unfold it, and there is your base card. Isn't that great? Now all we have to do is decorate it. Isn't that fun? Got it. Okay, so let's put this off to the side and let's get our designer paper. Here is the Life is Sweet collection. This just came out this spring, and it is got some of the cutest and sweet little bee faces on it. And the colors, as you can see here, is this beautiful blue, which we're going to use. And then the back side, these cute little bees. And this beautiful green. And look at these bees. We're going to use this as our focal point or our designer paper. Look at this yellow here. And this beautiful pink. Look at the cute daisies. And another blue. And then these bees right here with the honey and their little hive. Just think it's so sweet. Here's a yellow with a comb, honeycomb. And then it comes with these little cupcakes. Isn't it sweet? Life is sweet. And then these cute little green daisies. And then these bees. Look at those. With their trailing, their little fly trails. Isn't that cute? So we're going to go ahead and do that. But first we need our white, because we're going to frame the pretty blue right here. But we're going to use our white. So first, what we need to do is cut some squares. And what I want to do is do 6 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 squares. So 1 3/4, we're going to match that up here. And now this will just be my framing for my designer paper. Okay. So here's 1 3/4. I'm going to turn it and do a 1 3/4. There's 1. 1 3/4. There's 2. There's 1 3/4 for 3. Four. This won't be enough. We're going to cut another one. So we have 6 white squares at 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. All right, there we go. Put those off here. We got 6 of those. Now with our bees, these fun bees, we're going to do these 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. And I want my bees to be up. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter because it's a square. So I'm going to go cut out 1 1/2. And we want 6 of these as well. So 1 1/2. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut 1 1/2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this last one is 1.5 because it is a 6-inch tall piece of cardstock, or the beautiful designer paper. And then the last step is we're going to take our coordinating cardstock, and I chose this light blue. It kind of adds to the little bee's wings. And we want this one, we want 2 or 4 of these at 1 3/4. Okay. So we've got this cut at 1 3/4. And I'm going to cut one. I might need another one. We need 4 of those. Let me grab another one. There we go. One. Let's see if we do it this way. 1 3/4. And just 4 of these. So I've got 2. And I'm going to add 2 more. All right. Now let's put your trimmer off to the side. We'll use that one more time. So now, here you got your 6 whites at 1 3/4, your 6 designer papers at 1 and 1.5 by 1.5, and then your extra coordinatings, which are the same size as your white, 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. We got 4 of those. So let's go ahead and take your glue and let's glue your designer paper onto the white squares. Okay, giving just a little bit of a border around it, and I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, there we go. Just putting them in the center of them, just to give them a little bit of a frame around them. And again, like I always do, I use my wet glue only because I have a little bit of wiggle with that, with wet glue. With a tape runner, sometimes I commit a little too soon and it's not exactly right even. Okay, so with the wet glue, I have a little bit of a, like I said, a little bit of wiggle room if I need it. Okay. You can see these cute little, funny little bee faces. They're just so cute. Such a wonderful design that Keep It Simple has created for us for spring. It is just so cute. All right, we're going to hold on those for just a moment. Let's bring in our card base. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it flat down here. So this is my front, because this is the cubes are in the front. So I'm going to fold it flat like this. And now I'm going to glue on all my pieces to these little squares all the way down each side, the left side and the right side. And each of those squares. And again, just leaving a little border. So now we have a little yellow showing through. Adding a little bit more glue. And we're just going to keep going down the side, just putting in our panels in the center of each of the squares of our base cardstock. There we go. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I've got a little yellow border around the white and the designer bee paper. Now I'm going on the left-hand side. There we go. Now if you're using a different pattern paper or something that the patterns need to match, And that might be an idea to put them together so that they match, or if they match too much or too close together, you might want to separate them a little bit. It's all up to you and your aesthetic and what your design is going to look like. Okay, and there we go. Now let's open it up and look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay, now what we want to do is, before we're going to put the back in, but we're not going to put these in yet. So what I want to do is take these, and I want these is going to cover up your tab. As you can see right back here, here's a tab, and this just gives it a little bit of more of a background. So we're going to go here, and we're going to pop this right in there, in that back, again, just giving a little border, so you can kind of see it, just to cover up that tab, and also give your a little bit of a focal point, or a little bit of a background, a little finished bit to this particular card. Now you could go all the way down to the bottom, do a 4-inch and go all the way down, but since really ultimately all you really see is this top portion sitting out, I just decided to just do another 1 3/4. Okay, so now let's put this off to the side. We're going to hold on these for just another moment. Let's put this. Now remember, I told you to save this little strip. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to cut 4. This is a 1/2 inch. We're going to cut these at 1 3/4. Let's bring our trimmer back in. And you might think, why are we doing this? Well, let me share with you. So here, 1 3/4. We want 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, we got 4 little strips. We are done with our trimmer, so you can put that off to the side. What these are is, this is going to be the mechanism that puts your sentiment floating and your little bee floating out like this. See how they float out there? How did we do that? You might ask. Well, what I'm wanting you to do is, I want you to fold them in half. Okay, just like that. All 4 of them into a little L shape or a V shape. And don't worry that you've got the paper, this on the side. You're not going to see this because we're going to glue that down. I'll show you. Okay, there you go. Now, what I want you to do then is, because we want the yellow to show, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it flat. Again, I'm going to push those off to the side, and right up here at the top squares, now remember, here's where it is, the top, I'm going to take these 2 like this, and with my fold in the middle, or on your left-hand side, if you're doing it from the right, is I'm going to add a little bit of glue right on the back of this one. Okay, and we're going to glue it down so that your seam right down here, this score line, and your score line for your L-shaped little bit is like that. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing here. Okay, I'm going to put some glue down here, and I'm going to match this one up to this side, right in the center of this squares, and having the seam right in between. So if you'll open it up, what we've got is this little shaped thing right here to put your little bee. We're going to do the same thing down here. It's a little more difficult just because these boxes are in the way, but we're still going to do that. And so I'm going to do this, add a little glue here. And as careful as possible, I'm going to, and it might be hard for me to see, but we're going to do the same thing in here. You're going to add this little piece, just like we did up above, but inside. You can kind of see what I'm doing here. It's a good thing I'm using this so you can kind of see the writing on it to see what it looks like. I'm hoping this it'll make sense. What you're doing is you're doing two L's with your fold in the center. Now we're going to go on the other side as best as possible. And I'm going to line it up. It's really hard to see, I apologize. But you can kind of see if I turn it this way. This is probably the hardest part of this project, but it's not too bad. You can kind of see now that I've got my fold right there. And then when I open it up, see you've got these little stands here, these little placements for your ephemera and your sentiment. Now, because we could have done, and I should have done this before, is put these little tabs on first and then put these over it. So this doesn't show, but it's not too big of a deal. I could have done that, and I should have done that first, but you get the idea there. Because what we're going to do is take these last remaining 1 3/4 of your coordinating paper and stick it on the back side there just to cover up that tab that we did. Just fold it flat to get a little there. We're going to do the same thing here. Just add a little bit here. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing. Just slide it in to cover up that tab that we created. And it gives it a little bit of a background as well. There we go. Give it a little pinch to make sure it's all secure. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get our sentiment and our little bee. Because there is basically our card. We just need the sentiment now. Now, with the ephemera, look at this. This is so fun. Here's the ephemera for the Life is Sweet collection. It's got a bunch of the sweet little cupcakes with a little bee on them. These funny little faced bees. He's got a little bit of an attitude. And all kinds of different ones. Flowers, little sentiments, more cupcakes, bees, little honeycombs. And there's even a strip of honey, which I think is just as cute as anything. And what's fun is that there's a little strip of honey, a little drop of honey with a heart. Love that. There's a little beehive with a tree. Whole bunch of just cute little funny little things. Funny little bees, little sentiments. Cute. Look at this, a little balloon. So cute. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this little bee with his little happy little face, and we're going to take this Life is Sweet. Okay. Now, what you'll see here is we're going to just glue him on here. Now, this bee is a little big, or a little small for our little tabs that we created. That's no problem. We're just going to snip those off a little bit. So we're just going to, it's better to have a little more than not enough. Okay, let's see if that worked. So then, with it down flat, we're going to add a little bit of glue right here, a little bit of glue here, Let's add the little bee right there. Give it a little, make sure it stays taut. Now look at this. Look at that. Look at that. See? See how he just stands out? Look at that. Isn't that cute? It just stands out so wonderfully. And we're going to do the exact same thing here. I don't think we're going to have to cut too much off this. I think, and this is what we can do. Hold up the tabs, and then let's bring them down out on the outside. Yep, that'll work. So then just add a little bit of glue. I'm kind of glad I used the actual writing for the lemon paper, because it gives you an idea of where and what it looks like. You can see it better to what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to glue it down to make sure that it is secure. Now let's just be very careful here and put it back inside, just like that. And look at that. Open it up, and there you have your full card. Isn't that just cute? And then it sits up. And there it is. So now you've created my 2, 4, 6, 8 cubed card, 3D card, using the Life is Sweet, Keep It Simple collection of designer papers, as well as the lemon Back to Basics. Very wonderful and very beautiful. I hope you get a chance to create this card. It is a lot of fun. And what's fun is your recipient, when they receive it, again, they just pop it open and then they can place it out to store. It's kind of like a little reminder that they're thinking of you all the time. Every time they walk by, they'll see it. Isn't that cute? And what I do in cards like this, because I normally like to write my card, you have the whole back here to write it, but sometimes I will just get a square piece of just a cardstock and I will just write my sentiment on it. And then they can have the sentiment and then the card as a gift. Well, I hope you enjoyed this project. I really love this card. And it is fun, it is easy, and now you have a video to stop and start it, and hopefully you'll get to see it. And if you do, please send us a message over at Keep It Simple Paper Crafts and show us your creation. We'd love to see it. All right, until next time, it's Barry for Keep It Simple Paper Crafts, and I hope you have a great day and enjoy card making. Thank you.